Thousands of tons of spent fuel are sitting right where they were first used, in some cases decades ago. And some in positions of power think that needs to change. With a never-ending stream of seemingly bad news from the nuclear plants in Japan's earthquake zone, Senators Kirk and Durbin asked Illinois' nuclear leaders for a state-of-the-industry update.
Let me assure you that we have full confidence that our plants in Illinois and elsewhere are safe.
That's Exelon Nuclear Chief Charles Pardee. And the NRC's Cynthia Peterson told the senators that even the two plants in Illinois, which are identical to Japan's crippled nukes, have substantially different emergency systems.
Both of them have the capability to add water without electricity.
But the biggest concern expressed by the senators was about spent fuel, 7,200 tons, all of it still on site at every plant in Illinois.
I don't think it makes sense to store nuclear fuel permanently just 200 yards from Lake Michigan, the source of our drinking water.
We have a scientifically reasonable solution to nuclear waste.
That solution was Yucca Mountain in Nevada, where all of America's nuclear waste was supposed to have been buried for 100,000 years. Due to political opposition, the project has never been completed.
In the future, another option might be to recycle that fuel.
Here at Argonne National Lab west of Chicago, substantial research has already been done on recycling nuclear waste, taking the hot material now kept in pools like these and turning it back into usable fuel.
And there's the potential that we could reduce that storage requirement from many thousands of years down to just a few hundred years.
Problem is, the U.S. program was killed by President Jimmy Carter out of fears that recycled nuclear products could fall into the wrong hands. Recycling is being pursued by some nations in Europe. At today's hearing, Senator Dick Durbin said it's time to restart America's program in earnest.
And whether we can safely do that without increasing the number of nuclear weapons in the world, something none of us want to see happen.
One other note, Congressman Mark Kirk asked repeated questions about iodine pills, whether the state has enough. But the state's nuclear preparedness chief reminded him those are only meant for thyroid issues. He believes many see them as nuclear cure-alls and that they would take them instead of evacuating in the event of a real emergency. And of course, most believe that emergency will never come.
We often hear about recycling, not often about recycling nuclear waste. Why aren't we doing it?
Well, there's a problem with the recycling system. It does look like a very good idea, but it produces plutonium in the process. There are fears that it could get into terrorist hands. And also, the secondary issue there is that the utilities right now have a pretty good system in place that they believe is cost effective. This would all have to be ramped up. You're talking about a new system. And as you heard there, the other nations are way ahead of the United States on where the research is.
Nothing simple here.
Not at all.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.